A rare daytime wrap-up show with Jon and Jim. Early trade deadline edition. We still have 5 weeks, Jim. We still have just under 5 weeks, but we figured we'd get into it. We did a little bit yesterday on the radio, Jon and Jim, if you missed it. I don't know if you knew this, Jim. We have a radio show.
What?
On Extra 1360 iHeartRadio app. So as you make your way in, as always, we invite you to subscribe. That's the only thing we really ask of Padres fans. Make sure to subscribe. If you're a Padres fan, we have exclusive year-round content. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live, including these rare day wrap-up show videos. Smash the like button for us. You can also follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. As always, if you want to make sure that we get your comment, you can use that super function. The super chat is available by hitting that $sign down below. So what's going on this, Tuesday morning? Padres getting ready for the Diamondbacks. We have some names to share with you as we get going in terms of early trade deadline possibilities for the Padres. But what's going on, Jim? It's nice to see you're awake.
Come on, bro. I'm up. What are we doing here? Let's go. Did laundry this morning. We're good to go.
Oh, no big deal.
Even though you sent me like 45 text messages, it's fine.
I sent you like 2. Maybe
2,
3.
as in like 50. You're like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Do this. Exactly.
Do this.
Well, I'm going to share with our viewers in a moment some exciting news that we have to share this morning. First, I want to get to the super from Jesse, who is in Hawaii, and he wakes up to a wrap-up show. How about that? 8 a.m. wrap-up show for Jesse in Hawaii. Thank you for the super, Jesse. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the supers. Great way to support this channel. How about that? 8 a.m. You wouldn't be awake for an 8 a.m. wrap-up show, Jim. Be honest.
Depends on what the wrap-up show's about.
Well, what would you be awake for? A dating wrap-up show or a Star Wars wrap-up show or a Padres wrap-up show?
I would be up for the Padres had a big game for first place in September. I'd be up for that.
You'd be up for like October World Series Game 4 wrap-up show?
Dude, yeah. We do a wrap-up show 6 a.m.
No doubt. Jesse, thank you for the super. Talking Friars.
Yes, Jim's up, Ben.
Uh-oh. Rivals. The rivals.
Jim is up.
Michael, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We had Mike Farron, MLB Network, on yesterday. We had Jesse Rogers, ESPN, national baseball writer, on yesterday. So we're going to continue that conversation coming up in a moment. Isaac, what's going on? Thanks for hanging out.
What up?
Johnny wants to know where Ben is. He is in the chat, Johnny. So
Ben is in the chat. If
Jim didn't show up, we always have Ben available to us. Alex, what's going on? Alex, great to have you in as always. Just a couple of these comments here. You'd be up for a Warriors wrap-up, right?
No, I'd be passed out drunk.
Oh, man. You know what, Michael? We do need this. We do need this.
We do. We do need that.
We do. And Alex saying he's doing some deliveries before he goes to work, listening to the wrap-up show. Okay, before we get started, you want to share this now or later, Jim?
Let's share it now.
Boom. We've got memberships. Look at that, Jim. You've never even seen this graphic on screen. Okay.
Wow.
So hold on. Here's the deal.
Let me take this down. Wow.
Wow. Here's the deal.
Wow.
Jim's amazed. Jim had no clue that like work goes into this channel. He's so happy about this.
Okay.
I'm kidding. If you love the wrap-up show and you want to support this channel, we've got a membership program now for you. Nothing is changing about the channel. Everything that you get in the channel, you're always going to get in the channel. You're still getting in the channel. However, if you want to become a member, you're getting custom emojis. You see that emoji of Jim, that handsome-looking Jim Russell on the screen? You're getting that emoji. You're getting the uglier version of me as well.
You're an idiot.
I look like it. You're getting popular sayings like you're an idiot and let's go. Okay? Plus, the more people... You're going to get that as well. The more people that sign up, the more emojis you receive. That's how it works through YouTube. So the more people that become members, you're going to start with 4 emojis. You can get all the way up to like 100 based on how many members we have in this program. You're also going to get custom badges. Let me explain. Based on the length that you are a member of the show, like 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, the badge will change next to your name. And you can see the 6 badges in there right now, the different SD badges. In addition to that, I believe Jim has posted to the community tab. we have exclusive posts under the community tab. I'm talking about photos, content, all kinds of stuff, okay, under the community tab as well for members only. So this is the membership for Padres fans. You can sign up today. Click down below. There's a join button. Thank you, guys. You've been amazing to this channel. If you support this channel, if you want to interact in even more of a way with these custom emojis, with the badges, because we're here for you every day in season, every day out of season, you can do so by becoming a member. What do you think of that, Jim?
Well, first off, it's amazing. And second off, we already need to acknowledge our first member, Jared McCarthy.
Wow.
Clap. Good. Welcome, Jared McCarthy, new member of the channel, exclusive member. So yeah, I do agree. I do like this from Alex here. We need a drunk Jim face emoji.
We do need that. We do need that. Our folks are working on that.
Yes. But yeah, very, very cool.
Pretty cool. Right?
I think Jared McCarthy's already posted a "Is that good?" emoji in the chat.
Well, now here's my question: does that work through StreamYard?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Can you
like? I don't know.
It's a factor.
Yeah. Well, everyone can see it except for us.
Right. You can see it in the chat. You can see him in the chat. Jared,
Juan,
thank you.
Welcome, Juan.
Thank you. We need to thank Jared with this super as well. So again, there's a join button down below. You get the emojis. I think, Jim, if you went to YouTube, I think you have the emojis as well. I don't think I do because of how the page is set up. But as you become a member, you get the emojis, you get the badges, you get the exclusive content. Nothing else changes. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the supers as always. That's another great way to support this channel. And thank you, Jared, for this. How about an $11.11 super? First one ever.
Wow.
First one ever.
11.11. I like it. I think
that's the time.
Yeah, good. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Mind blown.
But first off, when it's going to be bacon time, I can bring it to the station if you want. Oh, Jared, Bacon Jared. But honestly, who do you think is the best available reliever at the deadline? Jorge Lopez, he says. I have not done the deep dive on Lopez. I do have a name for you, Jim, that's among our 7 candidates that we're going to discuss here over the next 45 minutes. I actually have a bonus name. Do you want to know who my bonus name is? And I'll give it to Jared right now with the super.
Who's your bonus name?
David Robertson of the Cubs, who's the veteran. He's 37 years of age. He's had an amazing year. Unbelievable year. Right-handed reliever. One of the comeback stories of the year. He would come cheap because he's in a 1-year deal and he's 37. He's got a 1.86 ERA. He's got a 1.5 WAR. There's going to be 24 names of available relievers, probably more than that. David Robertson is going to be one of the better available rental relievers. So I think it's a name that absolutely will move. I'm sure the Cubs will move him. I'm sure the Padres will have interest. And Jim, as you and I have said, we believe reliever is a priority for AJ Preller at the deadline.
Yeah, I think it is not top priority, but it is definitely a big priority. Whoa, did I just go like a million miles an hour there?
I don't know.
Honestly, every time I open up Baseball Reference on my tabs, my computer shits itself. I don't know why, it just does.
I remember that used to happen. That's right.
But going back to the needs for Preller, and reliever is a big need for them, but they also do have pieces that are returning from injury that could be viewed as acquisitions, right? So is Preller gonna go out and get a reliever? Probably. He 100% will. But is it like a massive need for this team when you have guys that are going to be coming back from injury that have been pitching well for you this season and guys you brought in here to be big time contributors late in games? Yeah, I think he'll get a reliever, but the names I don't really know because there's so many relievers out there that we have no idea. Like Jorge Lopez,
sure,
I just looked him up.
Yeah, he's had an amazing year.
He's like a 0.75 ERA for the Orioles, and you have no idea who he is.
Sure. Yeah, I wouldn't think, again, a lot of these names, because there's going to be so many relievers available, you're not going to give up a fortune to go get a guy that's had a good year. I mean, maybe you'd give up more to get a guy that's controllable for a couple of years, but you know how it is with relievers. Oftentimes have a good year and then not so good of a year. Look at Mark Melancon. An amazing 2021, not very good 2022.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of bullpen names. We'll hone in on that in July. I think in June, it's harder to establish because there's like 36 guys probably that would be potential names for a bullpen. Gus wants to know if we have discrete billing for the membership program.
Yeah, it just shows up on your billing account as like just YouTube. So don't worry about it.
I like that. Let's get to some of these supers. We're going to get to all right, Jesse, how to become a member?
Click the little member thing.
It's a join button, actually.
It says join button, but it's near the subscribe, and I think that's where it's at, right?
I don't know if it's on. I know it's on desktop, laptop. I don't know if it's on mobile. I think it's on mobile.
That might mobile.
Not. Is it on mobile? Okay.
Yeah, it'll say like Jim. It'll say join, but it's like near the subscribe.
Okay, so again, you can become a member. There is that join button down below. I want to get to these supers. We're going to get to the 7 names that we're going to be discussing here today. Trade deadline targets for the Padres. We'll tell you about our partners as well. This channel is not possible without Mark Nimitz or our buddy Will at Aura or Omar Sanchez at Edge Home Finance. This from Jake. Jake in the chat. Jake, thank you for the super as always. He is going to be at the game in Phoenix today. This is the other huge question of the day. Manny Machado going to play?
He'll be back. Dennis already reported that this morning. He'll be back tonight in some capacity.
Would you guess? What's your speculation? DH or pinch hitting?
DH at the most, pinch hitting at the least.
Okay, but not starting at third base.
No chance.
Okay, I agree with you.
Well, there's a chance, but I don't believe that he will.
Jared wants to know, thank you again, Jared, for the super. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for our new members and the supers and subscribing. Jared says a happy Robertson and Contreras package. Is that a happy, potentially an emoji?
Like, let's be happy.
See, with emojis, we need to figure that out, how they can show up on StreamYard. I'm not sure if they can or not.
I don't think they show up on StreamYard. Only in the chat.
They show up in the chat.
Only in the chat, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what people put.
So Robertson and Contreras. By the way, Contreras is on our list. He is one of the 7 names that we will discuss. How could he not be? He's had a brilliant year. He's a rental. He's not going to come cheap, though.
No, he'll be I would say right now, Contreras is probably the biggest name out there.
Yeah.
That will be traded, right?
Yeah, that will be traded because Reynolds isn't going to be traded.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that would be an unbelievable package, obviously, for Preller. It really would. I mean, the catching position we've talked about has been decent for San Diego, but no catcher has hit like Contreras has in the big leagues. He's like a 145 OPS plus right now. So
you would find a spot. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I can do it right now. Starting catcher.
Starting catcher. Exactly.
Thank you, Alex, for the super. Says, good thing you can get a bullpen arm with bats. Can you get a bullpen arm? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, the bullpen arms are going to come cheap. I think the bats are going to cost a little more. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
depending on the bat.
I've said this all along. Like, bullpen is the easiest to fix in season, no doubt about it. From trades to call-ups to whatever it is, like, it is the easiest to fix.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem or worry, should I say, with Preller making sure this bullpen is, at least on paper, the best it could be when healthy.
Yeah, and by the way, Jared meant Ian Happ, not Happy. So he wants a Happ Robertson Contreras deal.
Oh, perfect. That's
yes,
easy.
Please.
That's easy.
Yeah, you could do that for Jim. What would be? You could do that for Campusano.
Campusano, right? Yeah, and maybe like Eric Hosmer, throw him in there.
Yeah, Hosmer, and we'll eat $25 million of the Hosmer deal.
Perfect.
Oh, and who else? Like, who would be a funny name to throw in there? Oh, and Will Myers.
Yes, Will
Myers expiring contract. Will Myers.
Love it.
Could go in that deal as well. All right, before we get started, again, these 7 trade deadline targets for the Padres as we speak here in late June. We do want to remind you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, Auto, Home, Renters, Life, Earthquake Insurance. He's your guy. I've got homeowners and earthquake through Mark. He can save you $750 on your insurance right now. He's in the office right now. You can get in contact with him. There's a link to his website down below. It's on the screen right now, his site. You can get a quote online. You can get all of his contact information. He'd love to talk Padres baseball with you because he's a San Diegan and a huge Padres fan. He's got great service and communication. He can save you $750 right now. Auto, home, renters, life, earthquake, whatever it is. Mark Nimitz supports this channel. If you support this channel, please consider Mark Nimitz for your insurance needs.
All his information is always above my head. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to him, let him know that Jon and Jim of the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
Name number one, Jim Russell, has been discussed. Wilson Contreras. Dennis Lynn reporting yesterday. You sent me this text message yesterday. It was buried in his story, which I read and I'd forgotten. Buried in his story was a sentence that said, Padres evaluators recently scouted Contreras. So this isn't out of thin air. Hey, Contreras would be nice because he would be nice for all 29 teams.
Right.
That's in Dennis Lynn's article in The Athletic. Obviously highly coveted. Now, I think you could argue, is it a position of need? Now, he's the best player at his position in the game, arguably. Can you keep him long-term? That's another great question. He's going to make probably $100 million in his next deal. The cost would be significant. You're talking about Abrams or Hassel or Campusano. Absolutely one of those three is in the deal, if not more than one of ththose three. He's got a 2.5 WAR and an 877 OPS. But is there a better available player that fits a need more than Wilson Contreras, in your opinion?
No. And I see Quan here saying, do we need another catcher? It doesn't matter if it's Wilson Contreras.
Good problem theory.
The good problem theory that we've talked about a lot this season with this pitching staff, especially. You rather have good problems than we need a bat. Like, you can find ways to play Wilson Contreras. And I'm sorry, Austin Nola's been really good, but you're not playing Austin Nola over Wilson Contreras. You're just not. You can find ways to other avenues to put him in the game, Austin Nola. But if you got Wilson Contreras, like, he's your everyday catcher. And then Nola could back him up, and Alfaro becomes like your DH guy with Luke Voit. It's not that hard. Like, and you take those problems. You want those problems if you have Wilson Contreras. So the fact that you might be watching and thinking, well, they already have two really good catchers. Like, cool. I want Wilson Contreras. End of story. Like, he's better than both those guys.
All right. So I'm with you. I say if you can, and it's not going to be easy, and I don't think ultimately they land him because I think there'll be another team that pays more for Contreras than the Padres would, because I think the Padres catching position is better than others around baseball. And we heard someone tell us that yesterday. Maybe Mike Farron said something comparable to that yesterday. There are other teams that are more desperate to upgrade at the position than AJ Preller and the Padres. But is he going to make the phone call? The phone call's been made. Okay. There's a recurring phone call that AJ Preller is making probably to the Cubs. And
the annoying person. That's who he is.
What's that?
Said Preller's that annoying guy that you're just like,
he is that guy
talking to me.
Okay, so that's name number one. You want name number two?
Yeah.
This is the only pitcher other than David Robertson who was your bonus name. So it's 7+ Robertson. Here's the only pitcher on the list. Luis Castillo of the Reds, who is a rental, who I want to say was written up about today by Dennis. I could have that wrong, but I believe he was today in the Athletic article. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's had a nice year, not a perfect year. He's got a 1.2 WAR. He's got a 1.14 whip, which is good. He's a workhorse. He made 33 starts last year. He's only 29 years of age. Again, it's a rental. He's only under contract, through 2022. There'll be a lot of interest in Castillo. Say, well, why would the Padres want to add a starting pitcher? Let me just go back to the page in the book from 2021 when they had no starting pitching. And they've got innings restrictions on multiple pitchers right now. Mackenzie Gore and also Mike Clevenger. Plus, who knows about Blake Snell? And who knows how Nick Martinez holds up over the course of 162 in the big leagues? I mean, is it crazy to think, Jim, that the Padres could add a starting pitcher at the deadline this year?
No, but I don't think they will. If there's no injuries. I think if they have all their pitchers relatively healthy, like, they're not going to trade for another starting pitcher. I don't think they will. Jeez. Whoa.
What's happening with you? Is he not a rental, by the way?
He's not a rental.
My bad if he's not. He's okay. He's under control for one more year. My bad.
Yeah.
Is William Holder Will Holder?
It's Will.
I'm guessing
Will
this
Holder,
is Will
yes.
with the full name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Apparently, I can't go. Apparently, I can't look at any other tabs on my computer, or else I freeze. So
correct.
Fuck you,
Internet. You need like an iPad, dude.
Oh, okay. Let me just go buy one real
Yeah,
quick.
buy one for the channel. Be a man.
Perfect. Cool.
So wait, if he's controllable through 2023, because think about this,
he won't be cheap, dude.
well, you're not going to have Manaea next year in all likelihood. You might not have Clevenger. You might not have Martinez. Like they could use a controllable starter through 2023. Yeah, it's not cheap. I'm with you. But if you add Castillo to Gore, Snell, Darvish, Musgrove, that's a nice starting point.
That's very good. We know Preller loves the controllable guys.
He loves the controllables.
But is that, as far as needs go, where does that doesn't rank very, like, that's not like a need for this team as another starting pitcher right now.
Not in 2022, I guess. They don't have to have it.
I mean, if you got him, yeah, you take him in a second, obviously. But it's, I mean, like last year when, the names they got, you're like, those aren't really needs. Like you got a second baseman when you had a second baseman. You got a backup outfielder when you, like, what's the point of this? And then you got a reliever who sucked for you.
Right.
So if you went out and got a starting pitcher when you already have 7 starters, you're like, and I get the reasoning behind it. Like you can obviously make a case why it's important. But I think other things are more important than getting a starter.
Well, let me ask you this too. If you had Castillo and you were in the postseason in a series longer than 3 games, where does he pitch for you? Like if you have Musgrove, Manaea, Darvish, like I don't know if Castillo is starting before game 3 or game 4 in a playoff series. Not that wouldn't provide value. If you're in a best of 5 or best of 7 series, you need 4 starters in all likelihood.
Right.
But I don't know if he would be starting any of the games in a wild card round in a best of 3. I mean, maybe.
Right, and that's the thing is,
pitching.
like, you want to get impact guys, and like I'm not saying Castillo wouldn't be an impact guy if you got him, but if you didn't pitch him in the postseason, then like, where's his impact?
Mm-hmm. And Alex is saying just get him to keep him away from the Dodgers. You know the Dodgers are going to be super active. I mean, I don't care if they're hurt. If they're injured right now, they're going to go fill those positions,
Right?
Because that's what they do time and time again. Michael, thank you for the super from Mexico. He says this, I think starting pitching is possibly more of a need than we think, with Snell sucking, Jim's words and Michael's words, Clevenger not looking like his old self, and Gore on an innings limit. Yeah, so maybe it's like a sneaky need. Yeah, it's 7 starters, but it's not 7 starters, Jim, like that are all built up to go 165 innings this year.
No, they're starters that are like can give you 120.
Right.
Maybe tops. Right?
Yeah, like 3 of them, yeah.
Like, will Snell give you 120? Maybe. Will Clevenger? No. Will Gore? Probably not.
Maybe not, yeah.
So, yeah, you do have 3 of your 7 starters that won't give you 120 innings this year. So you could be right, Michael.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good point from Michael. I think it's kind of a sneaky need. I love this idea from Will. Says add Castillo, sell low on Snell in a separate deal with Hosmer to the Mets. Snell and Hosmer to the Mets. They could use Snell probably. They'd probably bite at Snell.
I think they already tried with Hosmer to the Mets early this late in the spring training,
and Twitter freaked out.
I think the Mets realized, oh, that's a dumb trade.
Because their fan base was like, that's a dumb trade.
Could you imagine? Like, could you imagine if the Mets made that deal? They would have had Hosmer and a broken Paddock.
What would the Padres have? A broken Dom Smith?
I'd rather have a broken.
But they would have is $20 million that they could spend at first base.
But also, good thing the Padres didn't. A good thing the Mets for the Padres that they didn't make that deal, because the Padres, ended up getting Taylor Rogers out of it.
True. It's amazing when you think about it that way.
Much better.
All right, let's get you name number 3. It was discussed yesterday widely on our radio show and on social media as well. Ramon Loriano, who is a right-handed bat outfielder with the A's, 27 years of age. Now, you look at his WAR, he's had a .3 WAR a year. He's not a power hitter. He's an outstanding defender. He's an average hitter. He's a 101 OPS this year. He's been better than that previously. He's under control through 2024. So you're getting a starting outfielder for each of the next 2+ seasons. Mike Farron told us yesterday he's a name to keep an eye on. He's got ties, obviously, to Bob Melvin. I think he'd probably be an upgrade immediately in center, to be honest with you. Like, are you content going into the postseason with the big question mark of Trent Grisham hanging over your lineup? And you can't wait for forever. It's July in a couple of days. If Grisham hasn't consistently produced for the better part of 3 months, are you okay with that in the second half of the year? Or do you need to upgrade in center field if you're AJ Preller?
I think if you can get Loriano right now, it's I mean, you got to look at always upgrading. Like at every position besides shortstop, third base, you have to figure out if you can upgrade any, and probably second base as well, right? With Cronenworth.
Wait, whoa. Upgrade?
I'm talking about every position on the field besides third base, shortstop, second base is up for
Correct.
talks about upgrading.
Correct.
There's
Okay.
Nobody's safe.
Correct.
Nobody's
Correct.
safe. So, if they're looking at this like, oh, Grisham's our guy, I think that's a mistake, because Grisham, what has he shown to be your guy every day, right? And if you have an opportunity to get a Loriano type of guy, you take that, because that's an upgrade. You always have to look to upgrade every position, every day, no matter what, besides third, short, and second.
I agree with you.
If you have an opportunity there, you take it. I don't care if you have told Grisham, you got to let Grisham know, like, hey, man, we need to upgrade this business. Like, you can't continue to be out here every day hit 180. It just can't happen.
A couple of things. Everything you said, spot on. Gus, there will be a wrap-up show tonight. It may be a solo edition. Blame Jim. But it may be a solo edition. But there will be a wrap-up show tonight. I want to get to the super from Sean, who says, to be fair, we needed Hosmer, and this is bad the first 2 months. I would say this, Sean, and thank you for the super, and thank you guys for hanging out, and thanks for the supers and the new members, by the way. I'd say first month. First month. They absolutely needed him, and he absolutely contributed to some wins. He did. That's fair. Now, beyond April, I just don't know. He did have a big home run the other night in a win.
Yeah.
That 3-2 win without Machado. Who was that against? Was that Arizona? Yeah, it was Zach Gallo.
Arizona,
They trailed 2-0. I mean, that was a huge hit. So he's had some moments. He has. I don't know if they needed him badly, though. And I wonder if his replacement would have performed just as well. Maybe not in April, but maybe since.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely April, he helped this team. No doubt about it. They're not where they're at with, like, at the end of the day, are they I can't even speak. They are not where they're at without Eric Hosmer. It's not something, people like to hear, but it's the truth.
You're saying the record they'd be worse because of his April?
Correct. Now, is he a guy going forward that you can rely on? Probably not. And I mean, probably not. But overall, he has helped this team in some capacity this year. It's just hard going forward, because the longer this goes on, the worse he gets, and the less and less likely he becomes reliable for this team. And so, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Christian says, why do we need to do anything? So let me give you the primary reason I would be doing something, Christian, if I was AJ Preller. It's twofold. Last year, the wheels came out from under you in the second half of the year when you didn't upgrade positions of need, and you just didn't have enough internally. So remember, it's a war of attrition when you play 162. And Bob Melvin has repeatedly said this. You need 40-plus guys to get through 162, not 26. So there's that. And then knowing full well that there's multiple teams in the National League that will make significant upgrades. I go back to last year, the Giants got Chris Bryant, the Dodgers got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. You know that your competition will do everything in their power to get better. If you're good, that's only more of a reason, to your point, Christian. Being good is more of a reason to dip your toe in the water and acquire players that can make you better right now. So, again, need might be a strong word. I'm not saying they need to get Luis Castillo or need to get Wilson Contreras, but I do think they need upgrades if they want to legitimately compete to win a World Series this year. That would be my opinion.
Right, exactly. I agree.
All right, I do want to tell you about, are you all right? What's going on down there?
I just dropped something.
But everything's okay?
Everything's fine besides people calling me a diva in the chat because oh my God, I missed a handful
Yes,
of wrap-up shows.
I want you to, do you want to go off here?
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this right now as joking, but I'm not sure. Does he need to be begged to do it? I'm here, bro. Jesus.
The one thing we wouldn't want you to do is be critical of Jim right now in the chat.
Yeah,
if there's one thing we don't want to see is criticism of Jim Russell. You could you can write in the chat, but don't be critical, right?
No, I know it's a joke one.
Look at this new graphic for Omar Sanchez, Jim. You're gone. Omar Sanchez, Edge Home Finance, here to help all Padres fans with their mortgage. You can text Omar right now. The number is on the screen, 619-387-7798. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen. He is your San Diego native mortgage broker. He is a San Diegan. He is a lifelong Padres fan and a huge one. He's a product of San Diego State. And if you're looking to buy your dream home, Omar can help. If you're looking to refinance to consolidate your debt, Omar can help. If you're in the process of buying or refinancing and would like a second opinion to make sure you're getting the best deal possible, all you need to do is call or text Omar right now. He's available to you basically 24 hours a day. He has told us that. The number is 619-387-7798. And if you're a realtor, Omar is looking for local partners as well. If you support this channel and you have mortgage needs, please get in contact with our buddy Omar Sanchez, our newest partner at Edge Home Finance.
When did you become a graphic designer?
Omar did the graphic.
Omar did the graphic?
Yeah.
Because that is amazing, Omar.
It's nice, right?
I love the graphic. I was like, wow, Jon is a professional, like, graphic designer now.
I know.
619-387-7798. It's on your screen right there. Omar, he will help you whenever you want. You can text him any time of the day. He's always going to be there for you to help you with any mortgage or loan needs. Reach out to him. If you just want to say, hey, what's up? Saw you on the wrap-up show. That's great too. 619-387-7798. When you reach out to Omar, let him know you found him through the wrap-up show.
Text him right now. Great supporter of this channel. Omar, thank you for hanging out with us. Listen, there's a lot of support for you.
Hey, Ben, right now. Zip it, buddy.
Okay? Are we concerned about chemistry issues with new players? That's better than being concerned about chemistry issues with Jon and Jim on the wrap-up show. And Michael says nothing but respect for Jon and Jim. Thank you, Michael. They're joking, Jim. We know you're doing this like 100 straight days, you know?
No, there's that one guy that like messaged you that I was like, oof.
Right. Has that gotten to your head? Someone messaged me. It's like, Jim is not dedicated. You need a new radio partner and you need to run quick. This guy's he's derailing your career and it's happening right in front of your eyes.
Ruining your career.
Oh, man. All right. Let's get to name number 4. Name number 4, 7 trade deadline names to consider for Padres fans heading into July. We've given you Wilson Contreras, Luis Castillo, Ramon Loriano, Anthony Santander, a name you would not have heard until yesterday.
Dude.
By and large, unless you were listening to Jon and Jim, maybe you saw it on social media. Mike Farron brought him up
one time, not one time. And if anybody says they had this name out there, you're a liar.
They could be. So here's the deal with Santander. He's an Oriole. He's a switch hitter, an outfielder. He's 27 years of age. He's under control for forever through 2024. He's had a nice year, .9 WAR. He's hit 14 home runs, including one last night. Again, Mike Farron
hit one last night?
Network. He did. We were tagged in it. Jon and Jim was, I think. We got tagged in it. I think by Will Holder tagged us. So Mike Farron mentioned him yesterday of MLB Network. He's a left fielder. He's a DH. Maybe he's more of a DH to the left fielder, although he's made some good defensive plays, Mike Farron said this week. He's an under-the-radar name. But here's what this team needs, Jim. They need slug more so than on base, and he's a slug threat with those 14 home runs.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they traded for him? He'd have the most home runs on the team.
Right. By who's got the most right now? Manny with 11 or 12?
Manny's got 11. Okay. I think 11 or 12, right?
How many does Manny have? Can someone look that up? Is it 11 or 12? Just put it in the chat.
No one else has in double digits.
Well, think about that. The halfway point is Sunday.
That's
they're 81 games in Sunday. Manny's now missed some time. It's going to be hard for Manny to hit 30 if he's at 11 at the halfway point.
And I'm looking at like other teams, and you're like, oh, Anthony Rizzo just hit a 20th home run today. They're like, wait, what?
Dude, Schwarber hit like his 50th.
Like, oh, Aaron Judge is on pace for 61 home runs. You're like, what? Other teams are allowed to hit home runs? Didn't know this. But so 12 for Manny.
Okay, 12.
And I heard that name yesterday, and you're like, wait a second. And you look him up, and you're like, this is kind of exactly what they need, right? Not a big name. He's. I mean, the last 4 years you could look at as like, yeah, the Padres use that absolutely. He hit 20 home runs. I want to say 4 years ago. He's hit double-digit home runs the last 4 years. And can you pull up his OPS? I think it's around 757.
You're saying Santander?
Santander. I want to say it's his career OPS is 757.
Solid.
Probably. I don't know if I'm
trying to pull it up right now.
Yeah.
So Santander's career OPS is 749.
Close.
His OPS this year is 765, which is a 118 in OPS plus. So he's had a really productive offensive year.
Yes. Could the Padres use that guy? Absolutely. Is he going to cost you the bank and prospects? Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I mean, he's controllable, so you might have to give up something, but I wouldn't think so. And again, there's a name like Austin Hayes with Baltimore. I don't see why they would sell on Hayes, who's controllable for like forever. So I think they would be more apt to sell someone like Santander than they would Austin Hayes, and Hayes would cost a lot more than Santander. But again, it's a name, and he's a switch hitter. I love switch hitting outfielders with power. That's something that they're lacking right now. And if you can get them on the cheap, I know. Well, Baseball Reference.
Dude, that thing just ruins everything.
Right. Now, this is an interesting point from David. I mean, career OP. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, David, and thank you. I mean, this team is able to get on base at least a half decent clip when healthy, right? Like they should be middle of the pack in terms of on base percentage, but they're like lower sixth of the league, right? Bottom 5 teams in slug. I mean, even fully healthy, they're like bottom third of the league potentially in slug. So I think it helps them in slug. You can give up a little bit in on base to gain some in slug, would be the theory, if it doesn't cost a lot.
Right.
Thank you, Jake, for this super. Very kind. Thank you guys for the supers. Thanks for hanging out. If you're here and you're a Padres fan, subscribe. If you're here and you missed the brand new membership program, we'll tell you about it on the way out. There's a join button down below. Thank you all for the supers as well. Jake says this. 2020 Padres were good, and AJ upgraded, and they made the playoffs. 2021, the AJ trade for Scherzer fell apart and went to the Dodgers team. Fell apart. So this team needs to be upgraded for team to make a run. Upgraded for this team to make a run. I kind of agree with that. I mean, I would think they'd be more likely to make a run with an improved outfield or an improved bullpen or an improved catching situation or by adding a starter than by not doing it. I think it helps their chances.
Well, they're already going to be improved no matter what they do at the trade deadline with Tatis returning.
Good point.
That's already a given. So for people out there saying that they need to make a trade, I think they do to upgrade this team, but like already right off the bat, you're getting upgrades from within with Tatis. And when Manny's fully healthy, coming back today, it looks like the bullpen, like you're going to get upgrades from within. It's a matter of what other upgrades do they need besides those guys?
Let me ask you this. If they get healthy and they keep playing good baseball and they get to the trade deadline and they're 20 games over 500 and they have Manny and Tatis at that date, but they don't make any sizable upgrade, maybe a middle bullpen piece and a backup outfielder for defense like they did last year. But the Dodgers go out and get Luis Castillo. The Giants go out and get, Contreras. That's actually not a bad example, probably. And the Padres don't do any of that. I mean, what are we going to be saying the day after the trade deadline? We're going to be saying the Padres fell further behind, in my opinion.
Yeah, most likely. But it depends how they're playing, though, But I will agree with that because they do need like an outfield bat, and they need something. I mean, you're right, but other than Tatis, even though Tatis is massive to get back, they need a little bit more.
Thank you, Jake, for that super. Thank you, Jared, for your support of this channel. Brand new member, Jared McCarthy, also with this super, says Santander. By the way, I'll give you a tease here. Reynolds is not on the list.
No.
Okay, because we don't think it's very realistic right now. from everything we've heard. Now, name number 5, we've given you Contreras, Castillo, Loriano, Santander, is Andrew Benatendi, who's on your list right here, Jared. So he's 27 years of age. He's a rental. He's had a very nice year. He's not a power hitter. He's got a 1.7 WAR, 1.7. Excellent on-base guy, not a power threat. Having an outstanding year with the Royals. Again, I don't know what he would cost, Benatendi, but as a rental, I know he's going to go. There's no question he will go. Again, it helps you on base. I don't know if it helps with your slug. It's certainly an upgrade with this Padres outfield in general. But he mentions Drury, Marte. There's a lot of targets we can look at, but we definitely need upgrades. LA will definitely be upgrading. We can both say that definitively right
100%. But I think Andrew Benatendi is a perfect rental guy. I don't think he's going to cost a lot. But at the same time, the other day we're talking, it's like, oh, there's like 12 teams that need something.
Mm-hmm.
So the bidding war for these type of players could go up, even though they're probably not worth that, which is tough. Because there's a lot of teams that need stuff. A lot of teams. No team's perfect besides maybe the Yankees. Even the Yankees need stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Joey Gallo's play. No question.
Yeah.
And this, thank you, Jared, again. I mean, this is a good point from Will. I mean, this team, as is, I think, could make the playoffs. But once you're facing the DeGrom Scherzer types in the playoffs, the Zokar Mazara can only get you so far. Have to upgrade. I mean, that is a great point. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's what you're looking at. Whether you're facing a Dodgers rotation that leads baseball still, I think, in ERA, or a Mets rotation that, if they get healthy, is as scary as any in baseball. Like, you got to have a real lineup to threaten to some extent against pitching like that, to score 2 or 3 runs. Because with this lineup right now against DeGrom Scherzer types, I mean, forget about it, obviously. You can't go into the playoffs with this type of lineup. You need Tatis, you need Machado, and maybe you need more.
Nope, you're 100% right. They've not done well against great pitching. And when you look at this lineup and you're like, oh, shit. Could you imagine a lineup?
No.
At the bottom with like Nola, Grisham, Kim.
Zokar.
Now, you would think Kim wouldn't be in there because you get Tatis back and you have Manny as well.
Kim's your DH. I'm kidding. That would be an absolute disaster. We have 2 more names to get to. Before we do that, I do want to tell you about our partner, Aura, ORA.organic. You click this, take the quiz button. You're getting 30% off your very first order. Their co-founder, Will, is a San Diegan. He's in San Diego right now. He's got offices in San Diego. He is a huge Padres fan. He's been watching and listening to this channel for months and months and months. This is plant-based nutrition, folks. This is good for your health, your spouse's health, your children, your family, whether it's probiotics. I take one every single day through Aura. Proteins after workouts, the Jim takes, if he works out, theoretically he does. Pre-workout
theoretically.
Omega-3 oils. Actually, he was at the gym last night. He's like, yo, I'm at the gym. And they sent me like 400 texts. I'm like, wow, sounds like a great workout. Immunity supplements.
We don't work out, so you don't know how it's like. So
that's fair. I was at the gym yesterday. Dan McKinney, YMCA.
Doing what? Like cleaning the gym?
I was like walking on the treadmill and then talking to people.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
But Aura, ORA.organic, 30% off your very first order. San Diego company. Will, their co-founder, is a huge Padres fan. They've got great products, something for literally everyone. All of it is plant-based. If you support this channel, please get to ORA.organic. There's a link down below.
Yeah, go there right now, www.aura.organic. The quiz, hooking you up, 30% off your first order. They got everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle, guys. It's all organic. It's all vegan-based. It's the healthiest stuff on the market. When you go there, check it out, everything. And the one thing that I take all the time is the pre-workout supplement, the raspberry lemonade flavor. It's delicious, and it's jitter-free. It's a great pre-workout. It's the best one I've ever had. Go there right now. 30% off your first order when you take the quiz. You'll thank us later.
All right, thank you again, Will and Aura. I mean, Quan, this is a fair point. I mean, could Benatendi, not produce the same way he has in Kansas City for contender? Yeah, there's that possibility. There is. This from Pods fan, by the way, before we get to these final 2 names. I think he means clear to swing. It's been 2 weeks, Jim. It's today, Tuesday. It's been 2 weeks and 1 day since that last CT scan. Maybe.
That is a great point here, Pods fan, because if he wasn't cleared 2 weeks ago, it's been 2 weeks. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Allergies. It's been 2 weeks. And he was swinging a bat there today at 40%. How far off are we here?
Okay, so you're saying if he is cleared today, how long will it take for him to get back to the big leagues?
No, I mean, how far are we away from him being actually cleared?
It better not be too long, right?
Because it feels like it's been a little bit. 2 weeks, and he was swinging a bat last week at 40%. You all of a sudden going to make that jump to swinging 100% in cage the following 5 days later?
So, okay, let's say he's cleared, though. Let's just say he's cleared to swing, begin a swing program. My question is, how long from the start of a swing program to back? 14 days, 21 days, 28 days. I would think it would be somewhere in there. Is
3 weeks.
Really 3 weeks. Okay, so 21 days from let's say he's cleared today. It's possible. It's been 2 weeks and a day since
you
that.
Really think that this team would tell the media that
If
Tatis has been cleared?
That's a good point. Maybe not.
You kidding me? They're gonna have to like find Tatis like in a tunnel somewhere.
That's a good point. Well, we saw him last time, like in the Benatendi cage with like fans.
Right. That's what I mean. They have to find him like some random tunnel swinging a bat.
Name number 6, okay? We have Contreras, Castillo, Loriano, Santander, Benatendi. Trey Mancini of the Orioles, right-handed bat, 30 years of age, outfielder DH type. He's expected to decline a player option, so he would be a rental if that's the case, I guess, or maybe he opts into it after a trade. I'm not sure how that would work. He's got a 1.7 WAR this year. He's a huge fan favorite, obviously, in Baltimore. He's averaged 28 home runs per every 162 games in the big league. So if he played 140, he'd hit 25. If he played 60 games for you, he could hit 10 home runs. He could hit 10 home runs for you in 2 months of the season. So it'd be that slug upgrade veteran hitter that's produced previously in the big leagues. I don't know what it would cost, but I think it would be a nice addition. Actually, I know it would be a nice addition.
It'd be a great addition. He'd be, as Jared said, he'd be awesome. At the same time, what is he going to cost?
Right.
Along with Contreras, like the Orioles, you want to think that they're not stupid, right? Because like I see in the chat is like, oh, what about Mullins? Like, no, they're like
they have so many pieces they could part ways with if they wanted to.
They could, right? But at some point, you would.
Why not just try to win?
That franchise would try to keep their assets and try to build a winner,
right?
And that's what I feel about like Trey Mancini, is that at some point you're going to need to keep some cornerstones to try to win. And I think Mancini is a guy.
He's 30.
I know he's 30, but I mean, yeah. Again, how many teams need bats? He's a top bat. He'd be a top guy to go get.
Yeah, top 5 bat, right? With like Contreras, Reynolds, that type of player. I would
think. 100% would not be cheap.
Yeah, he wouldn't. He would not.
But so far, would I take any one of these bats on this team? Duh.
Okay, so you would take obviously Contreras, yes, Loriano. Now Loriano again, I don't know if it's a huge offensive upgrade. He could be an upgrade. Mancini's a huge offensive upgrade. Benatendi is probably an upgrade offensively. I mean, the way he's played, it's an upgrade. Here's a final name that I don't think would be an upgrade, but could be if he turns the season entirely around. Name number 7 after Trey Mancini. Joey Gallo. This is for you, Will.
I thought you were going to say Juan Soto.
No, this is for you, Will, if you're still here. I mean, Joey Gallo could not be worse. He's among the worst position players in baseball. Offensively, he's been flat out awful. Somehow he's got a 0.1 WAR. Somehow. He's got a 79 OPS plus. League average is 100, so he's been awful. He's playing at hitter-friendly Yankee Stadium. He has struck out 82 times in 211 plate appearances. He is a rental. Now, he is a lefty bat, something that AJ Preller has coveted previously. He's hitting 169, the opposite of nice. Preller's had interest before. He cannot be worse than he's been. So maybe a change of scenery changes everything for Gallo. You could obviously get him on the cheap based on the way he's played. But Jim is about to turn that thumb upside down. Uh-oh. Don't. Oh. Wah.
Nope.
Not for nothing?
Nope. Not for nothing.
Just no interest. He's that bad.
No.
It's like you want another Luke Voit?
Right. And look, you already have Will Myers and Nomar Mazara and those guys. And Will Myers on the IL has done more than Luke Voit.
Will Myers on the IL has done more than Joey Gallo.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Will Myers
okay.
and the IL has done more
Yeah.
than Joey Gallo. It's a
Mhm.
joke, but still, like, I wouldn't touch it.
I love this from Will. So he needs the beard, which you can't have as a Yankee. He needs his old Ranger teammates. There are a lot of them here. And
Yeah.
I did see, Will, what did you tweet? Put it in the comments if you don't mind. His OPS on the road this year. It's not amazing, but it's in the 700s, which means what is it at Yankee Stadium? Like 0?
That
How's
place
it
is
even possible?
That place is like a bandbox,
It
dude.
doesn't make any sense.
You hit a fly
It
ball to
makes
right,
no
it's a home
sense.
run.
And with that lineup, and you can't do anything?
Dude, come on. It's
So-
it's also New York and
I know.
maybe
It's hard.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be hard. It could be hard.
Yeah, I don't
You're not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
I'll touch it with like a 4-foot pole. But not a 10.
Wait, so you're touching it with a shorter pole, but not a longer pole?
Sure.
Oh, man. So Will says he would take a flyer. Again, for nothing, I'd probably take a flyer. For nothing, I would take a flyer. Last year was going to cost you like your top prospect, like Robert Hassel.
All right, for nothing, I would take
know.
a flyer. But like if there
No,
was
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I would do it.
for something, no. But for nothing, yeah, sure, why not?
Right. All right, those are your 7 names. Again, Contreras, the only pitcher on this list, Castillo, Loriano, Santander, Benatendi, Mancini, Gallo. Will one of those 7 end up a Padre? The bonus name was David Robertson, the veteran reliever for the Cubs, who's 37 years of age. I agree with Gus. I do. Before we get out of here, Jim, I do want to remind our viewers that are here right now about our brand new membership program. There it is on the screen, the membership program. If you love the wrap-up show and you want to support this channel, we've got the membership for you. There's a link down below. Just click that join button. You're going to get custom emojis for the chat and for comments. Jim Russell emojis? Are you kidding me?
Dude.
Exactly.
There's a couple funny ones that we have. There's some pretty funny ones.
More coming as we get more members as well. You get custom emojis. You get custom badges to show how long you've been a member of the wrap-up show. In addition to the emojis and the badges, you're getting exclusive members-only content under the community tab. If you support this channel, you can become a member. Click that join button down below. Jim's excited for his emojis. You were cracking up when I sent those to you.
They're pretty funny. And Juan just put a couple in the chat. We can't see it on StreamYard, but it's the Let's Go emoji and the Happy Jim emojis.
And we need an LFGSD.
We will get an LFGSD emoji for sure.
That is our promise to our viewers. Thank you guys that became members here today. Thank you guys for the supers. I also want to remind people on the way out, please support our partners and please subscribe to this channel. That's the only thing we ask. And Jake is a new member. Thank you, Jake. So a number of you have become members here today. That's awesome. Thank you, Jake, for your loyalty to this channel. Thank you guys. Whether you're a member or not, nothing is changing on this channel. Nothing. The exact same content you've received, you're going to continue to receive. So thank you for your support.
We're just giving some perks.
Please subscribe. What's that?
So we're just giving some perks.
Some perks, yes. Please subscribe. Year-round Padres content. That's the only thing we ask. If you're here, please subscribe.
Right. If anything,
hit the
just
notification
subscribe.
bell. Yes. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Listen to us on the radio today at 3 p.m. Much more on Padres trade targets today. Please support Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance, our title sponsor. He can save you $750 on your insurance. Huge Padres fan. Link for Mark down below if you click show more here on this video. ORA.organic, their co-founder Will is a huge Padres fan as well. They've got health-based products, all plant-based products. You can save 30% off your first order by clicking that Take the Quiz button. And our brand new partner on the wrap-up show, Omar Sanchez. You can get to his site by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. If you have mortgage needs, please go with Omar Sanchez, another San Diegan out of San Diego State, and a huge, huge Padres fan. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for hanging out with us. Fun video. I'll be back tonight. Jim might be back tonight. We're back at 3 p.m. It's 24-hour round-the-clock Padres talk, other than dates, here on the wrap-up show.
I might join you from the date. How you doing?
Oh, Lord. Please don't end the chat like last time.
No, I won't. I promise that.
Bye-bye.